Quotation marks in direct quotations. Quotation marks are used to show a speaker's exact words. When you use a speaker's exact words, it is called a direct quotation. Use quotation marks at the beginning and end of a direct quotation. Capitalize the first word. Use a comma to set off the explanatory words. We'll look at an example. "We are going to the park today," said Marta. Said Marta are the explanatory words. We use quotation mark at the beginning, then a capital W on we. Then we use the comma inside the quotation marks. After the quotation marks is a space, and then said Marta. At the end of the sentence, we put a period. Marta said, "We are going to the park today." Marta said are the explanatory words at the beginning of the sentence, so we put the comma right after Marta said, then a space, quotation marks, and a capital W on we are going to the park today. And then, since it's the end, we put the period inside the quotation marks. When the quotation is a question or an exclamation, they are done a little differently. Marta said, "Are we going to the park today?" Marta said are the explanatory words. They're at the beginning, so we put a comma just like in the other examples. Then we have a space in the quotation marks, then capital A on what she said. And since what she said is a question, the question mark goes inside the quotation marks. If we wrote it the other way around and put the explanatory words at the end, we would start with quotation marks and a capital A, and then we would have the question mark inside the quotation marks, because what she said, "Are we going today?" is the question. The question mark has to be there inside the quotation marks. Then, since we have the question mark, we don't use a comma, but we do put a period at the end of the sentence. The whole sentence itself is a statement telling us what Marta said, but her words are a question. Let's look at an example with an exclamation mark. Marta shouted, "We are going to the park today." Marta shouted are the explanatory words, so we put the comma right after shouted, then a space, quotation marks, capital W on we are going to the park today. Then we put the exclamation mark inside the quotation marks. If we put the explanatory words at the end, then we start with quotation marks and a capital W, and then we put the exclamatory mark or exclamation mark inside the quotation marks. Then at the end of the sentence, we put a period, because the whole thing is a statement telling what Martha shouted, but what she said, "We are going to the park today," is the exclamation, so we need the exclamatory or exclamation mark inside the quotation marks. Let's look at some more examples. Kim said, "I am in the 3rd grade." This doesn't have any punctuation on it, so we have to add it. Kim said are the explanatory words, so we put a comma after said, then we have a space, and we put the quotation marks. We have a capital I. I is always capitalized, even if it's not the beginning of the sentence, isn't it? I am in the 3rd grade. We put a period there because it's a statement, and that's the end of our quote, so we put quotation marks. So the whole thing is Kim said, "I am in the 3rd grade." If we put the explanatory words at the end, then we put a quotation mark at the beginning, "I am in the 3rd grade," but we don't put a period here, we put a comma. And then the quotation marks and a space, said Kim, then we put our period. "I am in the 3rd grade," said Kim. Kim asked, "Are you in the 3rd grade?" Kim asked are the explanatory words, so we put a comma there after asked. Then we put a space and then quotation marks and a capital A on are. Are you in the 3rd grade? It's a question, so we have to put the question mark inside the quotation marks. Kim asked, "Are you in the 3rd grade?" If we turn it around and put the explanatory words at the end, then we start with a quotation mark, and we have a capital A, "Are you in the 3rd grade?" That part is the question, so we put the question mark inside the quotation mark. So we have, are you in the third grade, question mark, quotation mark, space, ask Kim, and then we put a period at the end. Now it is your turn. Show what you learned by completing the Google form.